The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast platform, its affiliates, or even the hosts. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, financial, or professional advice. The host and guests are not liable for any errors of omission in the content, nor for any losses, injuries, or damages arising from the use of the information provided. Listeners are encouraged to seek professional advice relevant to their specific circumstances. Now enjoy the show.
Hey.
What's
going
Penny
on?
With that deadly remote.
Oh yeah, good callback.
Penny got the deadly remote. Can she hear us?
Look, I'm just going to let y'all know I can't hear you yet. I am not ignoring you. My sound isn't working. So you give me a moment, y'all start the show.
All right, well, we can hear you. Well, welcome everyone to Running with Scissors. While Penny is getting her situation together over there, we're going to start the show.
Yes,
I am
we will.
Michelle with the 1L.
I am RG, and the voiceless on the voiceless right now, Penny Owens. She's over there.
Connoisseur. That's your name.
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed. Actually, it's been that way for a couple weeks.
Okay. Even on the ops?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm actually looking for a way to see if I can start buying cigars wholesale. I had this really dope idea, so been doing a lot of research lately.
Okay. Since you're always smoking cigars, you need to get some sponsorships to put smoking on the show and promote the brand.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why we're family. Because that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep, that is the plan.
That'd be dope. I mean, since you're smoking a cigar every week, that'd be dope.
Yeah. Now, there's some good deals out there, but if I can figure out where they're getting them from,
yeah.
So,
that'd be super.
Yep, brand them ourselves.
Well, let's talk about what we talk. What's the topic today? What are we talking about? Frenemies, flags, and family feuds. When the real violence starts at home.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's a really unfortunate thing that happens way more than we like to admit.
Yeah, way more, because how we navigate through life starts at home.
Yeah. Yeah, those are your formative years of how you see the world and how you're going to respond to it.
How you're going to interact with people and all different things. Like sometimes the biggest fights, I saw this quote today. Sometimes the biggest fights we ever face don't happen in the streets. They start at the dinner table.
Yes, absolutely. No, that's if you make it to the dinner table.
That's if you make it to the dinner table, because not every family sits at least together.
Mm-mm.
You know,
that's if you make it to the dinner table. Sometimes it's on the popping no matter where you sit.
Right. On the couch. It don't matter. But yeah, so where we gonna go with this topic? Because we can go so many different places with this. Hey, are we cooking with fish grease?
Maybe.
Now we can't hear you. We can hear you before, but now we can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
She over there cussing us out too. That's the good part. We can't hear words she's saying.
Got that. She had that deadly remote. I was a little nervous.
Yeah, she hit me in the Michigan and then pop back in her hand. Like Thor's hammer. Like, them ladies that be having the little sandals that be hitting their kids, be like that.
So I think we'll start with frenemies at home. I got a couple of points that we're going to touch on. It can start with sibling rivalry, favoritism, and competition.
What about name?
Now we can hear you.
I can't hear you.
No.
I'm messing with you.
Am I clear? Because I am not wired in.
See, that's jacked up.
With you. Sorry.
That's jacked up.
I'm probably gonna
Frenemies.
I'm about to say no. I'm gonna say I heard the different things that she was talking about. I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and cook in this grease. Is that what you just said?
Yes.
That's crazy. I got mine working. Did I mess up hers?
I don't know. This
But
episode
she
is
said
sponsored by Comcast. What the hell's going on?
Buddy, it was like, tag, you're it. I was like, dang, I didn't mean to break nothing.
It's not even 6 minutes into this show, and it's already stalled.
That means it's going to be a good show.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. We know what it is. We know what it is. So
Frenemies at home, guys. Let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the water's fine. Jump right on in, huh?
Yeah, might as well just go on in. Jump on in.
Okay.
So I think sometimes you make your first, well, I don't want to call your sibling an enemy, but you can make your first frenemy at home with your sibling.
For sure. That's what I mean. Home is where we practice the social life. It starts at home. So yes.
At home.
I'm with you with that one.
And then if there's a child that feels like there's some favoritism going on, then that child tends to grow up feeling neglected and left out and all the different things.
Think about it. If there's a change in the family, like the parents get divorced and the kid moves somewhere else and they meet another kid that looks like them, might be a problem.
Or competition, because there's always that friendly, not so friendly competition in the house. So there might be one kid that's excelling in school and sports and all the different things, and there's one kid that's not. So the one that's excelling tends to get a lot of praise because they're doing well.
Yep.
Yeah. True.
And then the one that's not doing well, and they're not getting that same praise. So now it's like, oh, that's the prodigal son over there, huh?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He's just good at math. You know what I'm saying? He's not the prodigal son. He's good at math. He can read. I'm sorry. We praise those things.
Tell a kid who's feeling some type of way because they're not excelling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now they're going to carry that. That's what.
Especially if the parents feed it. The way that you deal with your children makes a big difference on how they deal with disruptions and altercations. Because if you got the parent, why won't you act more like them? That's all you need for a whole feud. Like,
hey, you can be more diplomatic. If the kids fell into school, like, you want to be like your brother, hand him a book.
That's not just hand him a book. Just that simple, huh?
Read more of these. You'll be just like him.
He's dyslexic.
That don't always.
And that's you add stuff. So you add stuff.
I'm just saying. It be like that.
It do.
People undiagnosed. That's the problem.
If there's multiple children in the household, every child does not learn on the same level.
Heck,
we all learn differently. Visual, book readers, hands-on. We all learn differently. So just because we're in the same house does not mean we're doing it the same, because it's not true at all.
That is very true. Because for me, I struggled through school all the way till I hit 10th grade, and all of a sudden I was smart, and I don't know where the hell it came from, because I was struggle all the way up till then. 10th grade hit, I was just like, wait a minute, this stuff makes sense. And I've been ever since.
Wow.
It'd be like that sometimes. Like, don't let you have different daddies in the house. And then one have money, one don't. One your mom like, and one the other one you don't. Like, that makes a big difference, with the stepchildren, split families, just different parents. That's an easy way to cause bad relationships amongst the children.
Right.
It can, absolutely.
It does. Yeah, that makes a difference. It still sounds like it's the adults' problem and their fault, though. Like, that's what I'm hearing. The common denominator seems like the parents.
But kids are going to do kids stuff anyway. Your children could be related and they still gonna fight and harm each other. You got it. That's just what it is.
How the adult handles that matters.
Oh, it's a big factor. Big factor.
That matters. Because then it's, sometimes a parent can pick a favorite child.
And then sometimes I don't think they know it though. They just kind of, why they don't know it.
Because if you have, like, again, if you
Some
have
parents
a child
know.
that's
Some parents will keep it real with you. Like, see, that's why I like such and such. You always give me problems. Like, you have some petty, immature, emotionally immature parents that do mess around and they tell you exactly how they feel and the differences between you. And you can't help but feel it. I have definitely witnessed sibling rivalry that the parents were completely the stems of. It was almost as if the parent did it on purpose, like played them against each other just for their emotional needs. And I've seen this. I've seen it, and it's just like that's not good at all.
Well, me giving the child a book don't seem so bad after all. Now,
but the crazy part in all of that, as a parent who might be dealing with that kind of thing, who might have a child that's excelling and one that's not,
right?
What do you do as a parent? Like, you have to figure out how to not be like, okay, this child is not learning. Something's going on with this child. Pay attention. Sometimes I feel like the child that's excelling doesn't need all the attention. The one that's not does.
Right. Or you just have to find what stimulates them, because everybody's not like read a chapter a day. Some kids are very more artistic, all that stuff. So you just gotta find that one thing that they can excel in.
Yeah.
You have to be honest about your observations. Like, you have to be honest about your observations, and you have to remember that they're 2 or 3 or 4 different people, and you have to treat them differently. Now, if that person, hey, cuz, if that person also grew up in a household of dysfunction, whatever, all the kids are played against each other, then they're probably, it's like, are you going to keep this cycle going, or are you going to stop this cycle? Because that's a big thing. That makes a difference. But you have to, now, Michelle, RG, y'all might be able to actually relate to this, where when you have the differences and the parent is aware of the differences, sometimes you can still cause another effect by not giving attention to the one you quote unquote feel like doesn't need you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you are paying attention to all the problems and the negative, and now you're neglecting the other one. Just because I'm an A student or just because I'm a good child doesn't mean I don't need to talk to you or need some time. Like, I want some time with you.
Absolutely. The one that seems the most independent sometimes gets shortchanged because they feel you got it, and they spend all their time with the one that can't do jack.
It's true.
Yeah.
So it's like it has to be a balance, because without it, someone's going to feel neglected. Someone's going to feel neglected. So especially if you have multiple kids. If you have one child,
it's hard.
It can be hard.
How many people in your family did you grow up with? Because I know you got cousins and stuff, like out the who's out. Like, how many people did you actually grow up in the same house?
Just me and my brother.
It was just 2? Girl, you got so much family. It was only 2 of y'all in the same house.
I know, just me and my brother. I mean,
what are you trying to say, Penny?
I thought she grew up in a large family because she got cousins and they be real cousins. It don't be like the black folks with the fake pretend cousins. She be having real cousins, so I thought she had
I grew up with a set of cousins that I was very close with, that we were always back and forth to each other's houses. So we kind of grew up together. Not in the same household, but
okay,
close enough.
Yeah.
And what about you, RG? How many people were in your house?
My 2 sisters and my parents. I'm the middle child, so I have older than younger sisters.
3.
Oh, middle child. That middle child syndrome. Did you feel like it was
Tuesday?
Did you feel like you were that middle child that? Because now you have one older and you have one younger, so you're smack dab in the middle.
But sometimes yes and sometimes no, because I was a boy, right? So I had my own room, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And my sisters had share rooms.
Okay.
So I had some advantages. Okay. And if I had been maybe a lady or something like that, I probably would have felt it worse. But it was a whole different set of rules for me in some respects,
Okay.
So, but it was like little stuff, like when my sister, I gave you a story, it's a funny story. When my sister went to high school, my mom sat down with her for 2 days and they picked out every last class she should have and mapped on her future. By the time I got to high school, my mom was like, yeah, you got it. Just let me know so I can sign it. What?
What's the age difference?
3 years.
Okay, so that's not a huge gap.
I was like, what do you mean?
No. 3 years makes a difference.
Yeah.
I think that 3 years, like when you're 2 years apart, I've seen it with like my siblings and then other people. 2 years apart, you tend to be closer. 3, there's an actual difference It's a difference between the two. My kids, the ones that I pushed out, the first 3 are 2 years apart, and the last one is 3 years apart, and I can see the difference in how they communicate. Sure. It's like that third one just hits a different generation or something. Like it changes after that.
Yeah.
God forbid those kids can have those surprise that are like 12 years difference. You know, like the big age differences. It'd be like, oh.
And that older child is going to end up being the babysitter for the younger kids, which I think is wrong.
I don't know, because we were the babysitter of my little sister.
I know, but I feel like sometimes, now I'm not saying every situation. I feel like sometimes a older child becomes the second parent when there's
sometimes absent. Hey, look, you said sometimes you trying to be cute.
All the time, I'm trying to be cool with it a little bit, you know?
Right.
And that parent just
that's the babysitter.
Relies on that child so that child's life kind of is now revolved around being the older sibling, and I got to look out for my brother and sister. Nothing wrong with looking out for your brother and sister, but to have to completely take care of them because mom is not home, that's not fair to the child.
But mom is trying to make a living to make sure they ate everything.
That's what I'm saying. I get that part, but those kids.
You see, that depends on what mama doing. Now, I was the oldest.
Check is a check when you're feeding the kids, so I ain't
but see, it depends on how mature and what the mama's doing. Now, in my house, I was the oldest, and I started cooking definitely by 10 years old. I was definitely helping out and cooking. My mother was always in school or working. Like, she didn't have a social life. She didn't have like friends and moving to the house, so she was being responsible. But we missed her. She wasn't there. I was the name that got called on the most for everything, and I was probably the only one that got whooping and lived on punishment. It was like she just got tired by the time the second and third one came. It was different. But I have actually witnessed too where the mother the child grew up smarter than their parents. Okay, just more emotionally stable, thinking fast, quick. And baby one comes, then the oldest is taking care of them. But I watched people literally use their children as complete permanent babysitters. I have seen a 12-year-old break out into tears. I've seen a 12-year-old break into tears when they found out that their mom was pregnant. And literally, I'm talking about like, why would you do that? Screaming at the top of their lungs because they knew I'm the one that's going to be taking care of that child, not you. So it depends on what mom is doing. Like, because some people really do take advantage of their kids. Well, this is your sibling, you're supposed to. And it's like, this is your responsibility, not mine.
But it's a heck of a birth control. If you hate this now, wait till you have your own.
You said it's a method, but it's traumatizing though. You have kids who love children, but their parent ruined it for them because they used them. It's like, that's not even fair for that child, and a lot of parents do that.
Now they look at motherhood as something negative.
A
burden. Yep.
The burden.
Especially if you're a parent that says, oh, well, once you have kids, you'll understand, or you have to give up your dreams. You have to give up your life. It's like, no, that's not true.
That sounds horrible.
True. My mom used to say, because of all the hell I gave her, you're going to see. You're going to get it all back.
But see, that was a wish. That was a wish. That was not. You want the color purple. Everything you done to me, I done done to you.
Right? I done already does to you. No.
Girl.
But see, that's what I'm talking about too. When it comes to just that maturity, in a sense, like a parent shouldn't taunt or want to wish bad on their child. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't a competition.
Because
I see a lot of parents that's in competition with their kids. And it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, aren't you too old for this? I'm just saying, you're a little old.
Apparently not. If that was the case, we wouldn't have this show. So apparently not. We wouldn't be talking about
a cultural thing. But that's a cultural thing, because other cultures outside of ours,
Mhm.
Grandma is at home taking care of the kids while mom and dad is working, or everyone's in the house building this house together like a community, and that's not our normal in the Black community. Like, we actually grow up with traumatized, selfish needs, and we actually feel like, well, once you turn 18, you can do it on your own. 18 to 17 is no difference. That is not an adult all of a sudden. But we have some immature parents I done worked my whole life. It's my turn now. Hello? What?
Yeah, all of the trying to get out when you turn. I got people planning. Okay, when you get 18, you got to go.
Wow.
And
we gotta take a break though.
Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna take a break.
I hate to be that guy, so
it's okay. We got
Got me together with this two-piece. It's the good leggings, no see-through business.
we are back running with scissors. RG sitting in for the one and only Gazelle Moon. We have my two sisters, Michelle with 1L and Penny above.
What's up?
Welcome back.
Just joining us. We are talking about frenemies, red flags, and family feuds. When the real violence starts at home.
Mm-hmm.
It usually starts at home.
It starts at home.
Usually, the start of
it does start at home.
It starts at home.
We said what did we say at the beginning of the show? How we navigate through life.
It's all based on your childhood.
How we were raised.
Exactly. Because where'd you start at? You didn't just come in the egg and land in a tree in the forest. You were at home. My issues at home. I don't care what you say. You'd be like, it started here at home. It really does.
It's not all negative. Don't get me wrong, because I'm not going to say everything is just negative, because you learned a lot of great things too from home, for some of us anyway.
One thing that we talk about a lot with most of our topics about home and social life. One flag or a thing that you should pay attention to that you may have frenemies, flags, and family feuds. If your household was raised with the belief that what happens at home stays in this house, you probably have a lot of these situations bleeding over into other areas of your life.
A lot of dysfunction.
Okay, if you have that kind of disclaimer for your house, then yeah, you're probably...
I don't know a household from my time that didn't have
that. Right.
You tell me the ones that was out here telling their business, I can tell you they live in my neighborhood.
The crazy part about it is I kind of raised mine with that too. Because that's what I learned.
Yeah. Well, did you have stuff going at home that was supposed to be kept quiet? I mean, I don't know if you want to say that out loud on the show.
Well, I would say like this, like, hey, my daddy got a TV, my mom got a new car. Oh, yesterday we went here. They don't need to know.
No, but I mean, I think a lot of I think the generation now coming up, they share too much with their kids when it comes to financial stuff. Like,
oh yeah, I did that.
I didn't even know if stuff was like messed up in the household financially until I just didn't know. It wasn't something that was shared.
Right. Not with the kids. The parents handled it one way or the other. They handled it. Now I did that extreme. I had to learn that during my healing journey that I did the opposite because it wasn't conversations happening in the house, and because it was not shared with the children, the realities of what we were actually going through, I did the opposite. So I felt as if I wasn't included, and I wasn't aware. There was no real conversations about what was going on. So I call myself being an honest parent. talking too much to my children. Like letting them know it's about to be tight. You know, we're gonna have to go through. Maybe like the end of the month is gonna be a little simple. Let's stretch out that milk a little bit. Like letting them know that mommy didn't have it. It was going to be tight. You know, like and it's like that stress that you put on the children.
It is.
That children shouldn't have. They technically shouldn't have.
But it's true.
It was
so
the reality of what was going on. Because had you not said anything, they would have.
And they still have milk.
Yeah, right. They have milk.
But see,
be honest or have no milk. Which one you want?
The thing, but I say that you're supposed to still be balanced, because what I learned throughout the journey, like Michelle was saying, talking to them too much, it teaches them that maybe lack and void is normal, that it's accepted. I know that because I talked so much about not having money and how to stretch it, I did, teach them how to appreciate the small things, thrifting and how to cook things from scratch and make stuff stretch. So it's like they learned that part, but I also taught them a place of lack when it comes to finances, where it was like, because I spent every dime in the beginning of the month, I'd spend everything being responsible, and then we would go without. So now, as teenagers with jobs and college and work, they were taught indirectly, spend every dime as long as you're responsible. But when you come from a place of wealth and abundance, you want to be smarter with your money. You want to stretch it out. You don't have to spend every single dime. You don't want to think that, well, I'm just going to use everything because it's not coming back. So with me talking too much, I kind of gave them my burden on accident. Because they were children who didn't need to be worried about. I mean, because the first time that you see your child hand over their birthday money to help you out, it hit different. That's when you know too much. Like, this is a very sweet gesture, but that is not your issue. You're not supposed to take it.
Right.
And children, especially when they're loving and you do have a healthy relationship, they just want to. Yeah, and they don't know that, and you don't think that they're going to still be that person at 20 and 30 and 40.
Right.
So indirectly, you can say too much.
And that again goes back to what we've been talking about. It starts at home. All of this starts at home. How they manage their money, everything starts at home. How they see their mother and their father, or whatever, whatever the household look like for them. How they manage their finances. All of that. So all of that dysfunction starts at home.
Yep. Quality time.
I will say this, though. Kids is going to do what they're going to do. You can teach them whatever you want, tell you blue in the face. They still going to do some crazy stuff. So, we got to give the kids a factor here.
Low because I'm getting, D is texting me saying I sound low. I sound low to you guys?
Remember, you're still a little low, but we can still hear you.
Remember, I have high quality headphones.
The people
so
that are listening are having a hard time hearing me. I don't know why I'm low.
Is it? Yeah, I'm trying to think what you did last time.
I can't hear the broadcast sound though.
No, I just adjusted my mic, so I don't know.
I know it was something that you was working on before too.
So maybe RG, it wasn't you. Maybe it's me.
I am vindicated.
Yeah.
See, here's the part you've been spinning. I couldn't hear Michelle earlier today, and I was like, damn. I was like, wait a minute. My earphones were down super low. That's why I couldn't hear her. And she's like, was that last week? I'm like, oh, crap. I gave her all that grief, and I never turned my headphones up. So,
yeah, I don't know.
No, I remember last week, and it was low. Now you had gotten, like, you had did something off the screen, and it made it a little bit louder. But no, I do remember that.
I left out and I came back.
I'm about to say, but it was a little bit louder.
I mean, okay.
It's louder than it was last week. For sure.
Well, we already are. Just keep going up. Oh, she said she put the volume up. So maybe it wasn't me.
Wow.
Well, no, volume it helps. Everyone turn your volumes up so we can make sure that we hear Michelle. Let's turn it up. Let's turn them up.
Turn it loud.
I'm black and I'm proud.
Let me see if it's quite close up.
I feel vindicated once again. I feel vindicated once again.
What is that? Is that opportunity knocking? I'm just saying,
yes.
like,
I'm just saying.
Vindication.
I am just saying.
No.
So let's talk about red flags that we ignore in the household. I got points, y'all. I got points. Emotional manipulation, silent treatment.
Mm.
That was a big thing in my house. Well, not my house. Well, my kids. Like the
What do you
silent
mean?
treatment. I'm not talking to you. Like they just walk around the house not talking to each
Oh,
other. And I
oh,
would be that parent that would like, oh no, you're gonna talk to each other. Y'all gonna figure this out. Y'all gonna sit in the room, or y'all gonna stand in this room until y'all figure out what's going on. They would sit in the room and still not talk to each other. Like,
yeah,
I'm
I
not
can't
talking to them.
stand the silent.
I don't know. Me and my sisters, we had those things. My parents was like, they'll figure it out. They didn't even bat an eye. And we was cool.
Yeah.
They just let us, run the course,
Because that's what usually happens. Like my older two are kind of, on the little outs now. But I've been trying to stay out of it. Like I'm not.
So you haven't stayed out of it before.
I usually try to put it together. Like, okay, y'all gotta. And if I talk to one, I'm like, I might say something like, y'all gotta fix this. But then I don't say anything else. So because I don't want, because then somebody's gonna say I'm picking sides, and I don't want to pick sides. Because even though in my mind I know who's wrong and I know who's right.
I'm about to say, your kids.
I know my kids.
Michelle is only one side, front hand, back hand. Yes. That's all you need.
But the one that's wrong, I told the one that I feel that was wrong that was wrong. But so but still, I'm treading.
He said front hand and back.
Mm-hmm. Stupid.
See, now I know that.
I'm joking.
I am like the mediator. I did not grow up in a household where there was a lot of fighting. Me and my sister may not see eye to eye all the time, but we didn't hear a bunch of fussing and cussing. Like I said, my mother was a single mother for a long time, and she didn't bring folks home, whether it was friend or definitely a man. Like it was just, they weren't there. So we were close when it came to our relationship. So we didn't do a bunch of fighting. And I'm like that with my kids, where it's like, we are family. And we're not going to treat each other like strangers. We're not going to zap out on each other like we're strangers and you don't know, that you love each other. Yeah. And we're just not going to ignore each other, especially not for long periods. If you did this for like an hour while I was at the grocery store, fine. But when I get back, y'all better fix it. Like, don't let me see it. I am definitely that parent. And now that they're older, I try to ease back and I let them to make their mistakes and kind of work things out on their own. But I am very, very sensitive and very prioritized when it comes to family and closeness. Like I'm like, we don't have no time for shenanigans, because a small or even a big problem can turn into years of silence. And I refuse to allow that in my family, especially in my immediate family. I've watched what it has done for other people's family, and even with how my mother left, what it did in the outskirts of my immediate family. People hold on to grudges for years about something that could have been worked out, like, something simple. And I'm like, I refuse to waste any time counting unhappy years. And I really try to teach my children that too. In all relationships, like, no. And even with just walking and speaking, like even with just being cordial, when you enter a room, like you guys might have grown up like this, where when you enter a room, you speak.
Absolutely.
People are very certain. A lot of people don't do that now. A lot of people they're on their phones. They don't talk to each other, and everyone's okay. Like everyone's okay. This is in public. This is at the bus stop, on the trains. Everybody's just okay, entertaining and pacifying themselves. They don't speak.
They don't.
And that's not how we grew up. Like that wasn't a thing. Yeah, you spoke to everybody in the room when you entered the room.
Yeah, because they're already there. You're coming into a new space.
But think about it like this, right?
They done spoke to each other already.
I do have a question though. Do you think we would have been any different if we had all the stuff they had then? Because I'm gonna tell you, no, I'd probably be the same person with my face in the phone.
Yeah, I would say absolutely, because now they're being raised with this stuff.
Yeah, now, but if I was raised with it too, I'd probably be in the same boat. I can't honestly say
I would have been different. I know that I would have been different, because like my creativity, the way that my mind wanders, wanting to do and touch everything and be everything that I can be, the foodie in me, the options that they have with just the food, not the flavors. I'd have 3 next before I was 22. Like they had so many different options with everything. You know how many holes and tattoos, and I would have been decorating all my clothes. I would have come off looking like a very colorful, very vibrant, stern, crazy person if I had all these options, because I would have exercised my rights to test them all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I didn't grow up in this era. So I grew up where I grew up. So I can't relate to what they got going on now. So I can't say I would be like that.
Well, imagine your time having a camera phone or a cell phone, be able to call wherever you want, stuff like that. The freedom of having a phone to yourself in the 80s? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but I don't think I would have had a phone at a certain age. In the
But that's what I'm saying.
Look, I wouldn't have had a phone. I was always on punishment.
I wouldn't have had a phone.
But no, what I'm saying is your age as a child with all the advantages these kids have now, where you have an iPad at 7 or 8, you have a phone. You have all this information at your age.
It's hard for me to put myself in those shoes, to be honest.
Really?
Because I could sit up there and say, oh yeah, I would have been influenced by it. But of course, we are influenced by the time that we live in. So, of course, we're going to be influenced by all of those things. Now, it still goes back to how our parents were and how they raised us. That would determine how much of that would have affected us. Because we still would have had the same parents.
See, now I grew up when my mother had to be at work, so I was unaccompanied. If I had a phone like forever back then there would have been some situations I wouldn't have got into. Because there's some freedom. We already know back in the day, there's some freedom without these phones. You got to go on the other side of town as long as you was home before the lights came on. Yes. Okay, like you talk about helicopter parents. It's like now your phones is being tracked. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to check in. We didn't grow up like that. It wasn't even just trust. It was more than trust. It was, I will kill you if you don't. You know what I'm saying? We had those kind of parents where it's like, I wish you would not be here on time. I wish you would not show up for dinner. Like we just knew what we were supposed to do. We followed those rules and we stretched our limits in between, but we always came back to what was said and what we were supposed to do. When they pushed you outside and locked that door and said, don't be letting my air out and come back in a couple hours. If you come in here, you're going to stay in. We took it seriously. But
because they
lived our lives.
I'm sure that I probably would not have got into a lot of trouble that I got into if I would have had some of the gadgets that they have now. Because my mother would have had more access to me when I was roaming the streets.
Yep. What you doing?
In the house, and your mama don't see you till you come back home before the lights come on, like Penny was saying. You outside to do whatever.
What you would be making it up in real time.
Man, we used to be everywhere on the
Make
train.
It up in real time.
Listen, now if I would have had a phone back then, my mother would have had more access to me. I wouldn't have been going nowhere.
Did you guys, like, now that we have phones, are you, because I mean I know your kids are older, but now that you have phones, do you utilize it the way they do now, tracking your kids, or do you raise them still the way that you were brought up, where it's just like, okay, I will check in on you later, like live your life, be safe, call me if you need me? Like, how do you utilize
now that mine are adults? I can't say that I do, but I do watch, my daughter's tracking, because she done had some things happen to her, so I'll be like, where you at?
Yeah, I understand.
Where's she at?
Well, we do it as a family. Yeah, shout out to her.
Right.
We do it as a collective family, so everyone in this household kind of knows where everybody is.
Yeah.
But the only reason the kids had phones back when they were in school is because people kept like doing the pew pew pew. So I needed them to call me or call, let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not old. I can't say that
I
other things, but yeah, they was wilding at a time where
they had cell phones. Yeah, they had cell phones when they were in high school and things like that. Yeah, they did have them. Like my daughter, her aunt, she had a cell phone from like 9 years old. I didn't buy it. Her aunt gave it to her.
Gosh. Now I tried to wait till I tried to keep my kids smart and the phone stupid for a long time.
Right.
Okay. I was like, I understand that people are being shot, but you don't need the distraction. And you were not the president. What you need a phone for? You don't even know how to call nobody. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to do that. So I waited for a very long time. My kids definitely not until high school did they get their phones. And I didn't feel like everyone in the house needs to have a whole different phone, different zip code and things. I'm like, what you doing? you're not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no reason you have no social life. You know two people. Like I don't, and they were all in the same room with you. I'm not about to get you no phone. So I waited for a long time before I got them their phones. And even now, with each child having a phone, I don't like it. I genuinely don't like it. And there's sometimes where I just kind of pull it out, like, let's see how life is today with no phone. I'm sure you'll make it. Get out. Like I encourage them to just kind of explore like we used to. I give them the heads up, be careful, be aware, pay attention to your surroundings, no more than one headphone in your ear, but pay attention to life and go do something. Go get dirty, play in the dirt and do something that is going to actually build your character. I try to get them less dependent of the phones, but the phones are everywhere. I mean, TVs are at the gas station, like everything has a device and technology on it. And I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. It's just a way of life at this point.
That was exasperation.
No, sir, I don't like it.
So all of the red flags that we had going on in these households when we were growing up, how we used to normalize toxic behaviors by saying, that's just how family is.
Yeah.
That's just how family is. I remember I blacked out on my aunt one time because.
Oh, dang, not blacked out. That's more than the flag.
I was grown by this time. I was an adult by this time. And this is my dad. This is my dad's. This is my great aunt. This is my dad's father's sister. Now this is a perfect example of family dysfunction. My brother, it was like that was her favorite. Like she would do things for my brother, like, she would give him stuff, or my brother would get $20, she'd toss me $5. My parents didn't do that to us.
Right, dang.
Right. But that was our whole life. My brother, we're 4 years apart, so it's not like he's 12 years older than me and he's an adult. She would treat him, and I noticed that as a child. I noticed it. I was like, yeah, that was so. As when I got older, and I started to have my own kids, I told my dad, I was like, your aunt don't like me. And my father's response to me was, you know how your aunt is. And that was always, it was like, dismiss my feeling. And I'm like, you see how she treats me. You see the things that she does. Like she does. Oh, she just was terrible to me. Until that one day. She said something and she said, I'm going to tell your father. And by this time, I'm a full-grown adult. I got kids. I said, tell him. I don't even care. And I just kind of went off on her.
Wow.
And
what was the outcome?
I'm going to call your father. And I said, I don't care. My father called me. I said, look.
And look, you were loud and clear right there.
I said, look. You not going to tell me. I said, and even in that, it was still him saying, you know how your aunt is. He didn't care. That
don't make it cool.
Feelings, no nothing.
That don't make it cool.
To the point, at her funeral, this is my last point. At her funeral, I sat there. And my dad was sitting behind me. And the people up in the church got up there, was talking about how, oh, you know how she loved Mark and Michelle, me and my brother. And I said to my father, I said, now why they in this church line? Why
they in this church line?
Oh, so you didn't get up and speak, I take it.
And my father, we laughed about it, which was weird at that time because we were laughing about it. But that's just a prime example of how
the excuses.
That's just how family is, and that kind of deal. It's like, come on, we gotta stop making excuses for dysfunction.
See, but when people are used to that chaos and they're used to that being the solution to handling their chaos, especially when you can't talk about what's going on in the house, it leaves you in a rock and a hard place. Because if we're not going to talk about it honestly, and we can't talk about it outside the house, you're left stuck to just deal with it. And that's exactly how you get that kind of advice. Well, you know how they are. I was the inquisitive one, and I still am the inquisitive one. And when they would say that, well, that's how they are, I was like, well, I just got here. I'm younger than all of y'all. I don't know what that even means. what exactly does that entail? Why that way? And I would ask them those kind of questions where it's like when they would say things to themselves like, well, I'm the black sheep of the family. Well, why? Why are you the black sheep of the family? Well, everybody tells me I have an attitude or that I'm mean. Well, why is that? What are you doing, or what situations are causing them to make those kind of comment? And what I've learned with asking the family these kind of questions, there was some childhood fight or some misunderstanding, whether it was money or a relationship or something, you know, they crossed paths and lost trust years ago. It was never something recent. And they've been holding a grudge and not talking about it. Why are you bringing up old stuff? Or they continue to go to the reunions and the family functions, just moving forward without even addressing the things that were happening before. All of the situations, I have yet to have found a situation that could not have been talked about. I understood why it wasn't an easy conversation, but the stuff that I have found in my questions that were the true reasons on why people act the way that they do, Lord knows that they should have been talked about, because it explained.
I have a question.
Everything out there, it explained why they acted that way.
But I have a question. How do you, if you live in this very toxic behavior, how do you recognize it when it's been a part of your being for so long? Because a lot of people, they've operated in this space so long, they're blind to it. So how do you recognize when you're doing that?
Because most of them are not blind to them. That's just the cover up. It's like when you tell people, oh, well, I'm fine. Most people, when you ask them, well, I know that I'm a B. I know that I'm hard to, or I give it to them raw. They are fully aware of how they talk and how they're being seen.
Giving it to them raw sounds crazy.
So they just accept it. They try, yeah, because it is a mental thing. You're right. Because they accept it as a part of it. They figure, just like the one that says, I'm always been the black sheep. But do you like being the black sheep? No. Do you not like fitting in? Are you okay with the family referring to you that way? Do you like being separated? Most of them, they deal with it and they cope. So they just say, well, this is who I am. And you deal with it.
Does the family put that on the person, or does the person put that on themselves?
Both.
Man, but I like the way I grew up. Oh, respect.
Yeah. I'm glad you appreciate it. See, that's one thing too that keeps us in the cycles, though. And this is not about you, Joanne. I'm saying in general, where as we grow up and we mature, we look back and say, well, that didn't kill me. It made me stronger. And then sometimes that will keep us continuing those cycles. No, ask yourself in real time, do I agree with it? Is this something that I want to keep forward? Even if you appreciate it and it made you stronger, do you want to continue that? Do you want to do that with your kids? Because, I mean, look, as Black people in general, we have gotten through a lot of stuff, but I don't think that we are meant to keep it going just because it made us strong. You know,
it was a protection for that time, pretty much.
Exactly. You got through it, but we've been through some things. And this is what I'm seeing with a lot of different household secrets and just there's real truth behind why people act the way that they do. And if you do not take the time to inquire, then you're missing out on a real opportunity of true understanding and
that's
growth.
Why the cycles keep repeating themselves, because nobody is really trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm. And you're just stuck being the black sheep or being the one that nobody likes, and it's just like it has nothing to do with you most times. It's really unfair. But people know if you're not. People understand if they're family, and this is one thing I point out for a lot of people too. Right. When the people who are obligated to you by blood don't care, then you're not about to trust anybody else. Blood's supposed to be thicker than water. And when blood treats you a certain way, you just have limited expectations on the rest of the world.
Well, we talk about it all the time, how like sometimes there's people outside your family that are closer to you than the people who grew up with you. It happens all the time, my friend.
Absolutely.
It really does. It really does. All the time. But blood is still there. You are still connected for more reasons than one. So even when you want to cut it off, it's worth exploring. Why is it the way that it is? Because until that situation is healed on some type of level, it stays with you, unfortunately.
So in other words, you need to explore that to get your breakthrough to have a better life. Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah.
I'm asking it seriously.
But see,
right.
now.
You may not always get closure.
Sometimes family need to get cut off.
Boundaries.
That's what I'm asking. You know what I'm saying?
I think I believe that boundaries are important, but I have seen some toxic relationships. But like I said, in those questions, when you find out that such and such touched such and such, and you were the favorite, and that's why he touched you, or whatever, those kind of crazy scenarios, then it makes sense where it's like, this is why you didn't like me, or this is why you acted that way. It gives you understanding on why these beefs even started, because there are some things that have not been talked about. And I promise you, there are things that have not been talked about, which is why people are clashing. And somebody else is getting away with murder. They're getting away with the in between just because these secrets is being kept.
All right.
It's true. But dysfunction, that's a slippery slope, because even though you understand it and you know where it comes from, cousins can get it too.
Hey, look,
that's why we rub with scissors, folks. That's why we rub with scissors.
No one should have to be subject to abuse of any kind, whether it's verbal, emotional, physical. No, we are supposed to be respected. Everybody deserves peace and love and to be heard and understand. I'm totally with you. And even when you say like everybody can get it, I understand, because just because that phone is ringing don't mean you need to answer it. Until you can come correct, don't come at all. Don't come here with that stuff. Don't bring that nonsense. Like, I totally understand that. But there's just a different level of, for me, I believe that there's a different level of responsibility when it comes to our family, because you are connected. Those are people that you were born into this world attached to, and those attachments, whether you answer the phone or you don't see them anymore, it doesn't go away. And if you don't address those relationships some kind of way, whether it's just forgiveness of yourself and you never get closure, it passes down. Because when you cut them off, then your daughter loses an uncle, they lose a cousin. You see what I'm saying? Now their family tree is broken. It may be for good reason, but the truth of it is the family tree is broken.
Right.
In some instances,
I can look at that.
broken.
Yep.
Hey, look, you be like, hey, look, we don't talk about Bruno.
Hear you and all of that.
Hey, we don't talk about Bruno.
Because that just goes back to the thing we talk about, because it's family. Just because it's family, you're supposed to just no.
Bad behavior is bad behavior.
Family don't get to
hold them accountable
any old kind of way.
I think everybody should be held accountable. You can,
Absolutely.
like you said, you can get it.
I can't choose the family I was born into, so you can get treated like a stranger too.
And look, you can choose your boundaries though.
Hello.
Okay.
For sure.
Be like, I agree with you when you're like, okay, auntie, I understand that you're my aunt, you're my elder, but I refuse to be disrespected and overlooked. I think that was a strong point and a good one. I think that's a good point, because it's the truth. We're both here. How are you going to overlook me? You're supposed to be the adult in this situation, but you acting real funny.
But I blame my parents, because y'all let her do that.
Y'all allowed it. Exactly. Those are conversations that need to be had. That's why I say that being quiet and secrets. No, these are real conversations that need to be had, and they make a difference.
You see what they're doing to your kid. You see how they're treating them.
Look, I had to work with that for myself, because I'm, like I said, that family thing is serious for me. And I didn't allow anybody to half love my children. I do not like watching situations where folks they done broke up with you, but they want to see your kids. If you can't respect me, you're not about to go to how am I going to trust my children with you when you can't even say hello to me?
Right. You don't like
and then, but you have some people that say, well, that relationship is different. Let them go have fun with the kids and y'all work your stuff out later. No, that's a catch-22. As my kids got older, with some relationships, I understand that we all individually have a relationship with each member of your family, and everyone has to make their own choices and decisions when they're mature enough to have that. But I still think where it's like, we need to work on that relationship, because you still need to be able to respect my wishes, and I need to be able to respect yours. We're not going to just bypass that so that you can pretend to be a good person for somebody else. Like, I'm gonna need you to really work on that. We're gonna need to work on that in real time. But people accept that. The people really do accept that. My children's father, he didn't get along with his mother all the time, but he got along with his grandmother. And I remember him saying, where that's normal. The grandparents always love the grandkids, and that's just completely normal. And I watched their relationship, and I'm like, okay, there's a cultural difference, but I watched that, and I'm like, so you're okay with you and your mom not having a relationship, but she's going to take our child out of the country by herself and you're okay with that. I'm like,
I don't think so.
no. Like, I don't care what y'all used to. I'm not used to this chaos. We're not doing it.
Red flag. Now that's a red flag, right?
That sounds like a Netflix special.
People are used to a lot of stuff. That chaos, we get comfortable because it's familiar. And I'm like, I just refuse to live in chaos. I don't care how comfortable you are in yours. That's not my reality. Folks need to start really evaluating, especially as they turn adults, evaluating their chaos and deciding in real time, is this normal? Is this okay?
Mm-hmm.
Interpersonal relationships with people.
Yeah.
Not just the situation, the relationships.
But what are they supposed to do now? Michelle with one L, RG. Tell our audience, with this being a digital era, when relationships end just as fast as you can swipe to the left, you know what I'm saying? There's
Right.
no real attachment to, and no one wants to be settled down and locked in. Like, it's real, everything's real temporary. Everything's real temporary. What kind of advice would you give them when what flags look like? And what's a frenemy? Because people think that Facebook friends are real friends. And it's like, you don't even know no 500 people. Are you serious? Are you serious?
You don't know the people.
Do they have your home number? Do they know your birthday?
Right.
That's not your friend. That's not your friend. What would you tell them?
I would say to people who always got those jokes and not really jokes, kind of like what we talked about last week. That's a really good indicator whether they're a frenemy.
A frenemy.
Yeah.
A
That would be a big one.
Someone who doesn't support anything that you do.
Oh.
Or that one who only goes out with you when you're paying the tab.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be a friend.
Well, they say your biggest supporters are people you don't know anyway. And
I know they show up every time I'm paying for this beer.
It shouldn't be that way.
Right.
No. There is.
Be a lot of shit.
If you got to ask a question, I think if you can't just say that's my friend, like straight up and feel it all the way through, then that may not be your friend. Like if you have to pause
That's
and
true.
categorize
Right.
it, then maybe it's just a flat out no.
I think they put they throw that friend word around way too much. Like I don't have a whole lot of people that I call friends.
Mm-hmm.
I know a whole lot of people, a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
But friend, I don't really play with that word. Because most of my friends are like family.
Right.
I would consider them to be like my family. So
Yeah, cousin or something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, even if we
She
not
got real
cousins,
cousins,
like,
remember?
my
She got
friends
real
is
cousins.
family. Like,
Right.
I don't have no friends that I don't really know you for real. But I've met people in my life that have turned out to be better friends to me than people I've known for 30 years.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Look, everybody has a season. Sometimes them seasons is a couple months and sometimes they're a couple years. But yeah, we all have seasons. It's just true. I think that
Yeah, I agree.
I think we're being conditioned. Excuse me. Not I think. I know that we're being conditioned for the whole friends and likes. Social media is completely playing off our emotions and our lack of family thereof. And it's definitely using those words. So these kids and the adults too, the ones who really need the relationships, they want the relationships, they crave it. Social media is mimicking that for them in the words that we're using. How many likes do you have? How many friends do you have? And it's not, I'm not gonna say that it's not real, but it's not your reality. It's not, it's not.
It's not.
You're not that cute. I'm just sorry. I'm just saying it.
And if you like what you hear, like, share, subscribe. Email us at weareunited@yahoo.com.
We
Please
did
consider donating to the network.
We did do the disclaimer.
Everything you donate will go to the operation costs and keeping us on YouTube as Penny just makes everyone turn their camera off. Please and thank you.
But it's the reality of it. But she's not saying anything wrong though. It's true.
The jokes write themselves.
I'm just
Had to go
saying,
for it.
you just never know what's gonna happen on this show.
I hold myself accountable too. I am not going to let myself have
respect
such
that.
a big head where I'm thinking,
calling people
"Ooh,
ugly.
I have
Just calling a
2,000
whole bunch of people
followers and I'm important." Yeah, bruh. All right, you're an
I'm
algorithm.
just saying.
Impress me in real life.
Not an
Impress
algorithm.
me in real life. I'm just saying.
Not an algorithm.
Right. Oh my gosh.
No,
It's
but
just
social media has got people fooled. Like they really feel like they popping.
people are
Popping
falling
because I
for
got
it.
500 likes.
People are falling for it. It's like you got 500 likes and nobody showed up for your birthday party. I'm just saying. Like,
Dang.
Hey, maybe all their friends are out of town. You know what? They might be out of town. You know,
But
to
that's
then
move
what
you
I'm
are
saying,
not.
though.
Look,
Like, don't take them likes too serious, because when it really comes down to it, who's really standing there with you?
exactly. Okay,
the
so
phone.
fine. They like you out of town. That means that you are not locally likable. I'm just saying.
Locally likable.
Just
You
on
may
fire
seem
today.
better on. Hey, look,
On
you may
fire.
seem better virtually too. But we know, we got a lot of people that they are virtually this on top notch. You know what I'm saying? They can tell you everything. They can teach you everything. They some virtual gangsters. They strong about theirs. And then in real life, you're like, you don't look like your pictures. You don't sound like your posts. And you know, it's just the truth. I'm like, I'm gonna need me some virtual and reality references. Okay. Before we get to sharing likes, I'm gonna need some references, please. I need proof that you are who you are. Just say it.
Damn.
Because anybody can go to Chat GPT and type some stuff in and make it sound like they all intelligent and stuff.
Have you guys seen the AI cloning that people are using now?
Yeah, clone.
People are excited and
yes.
proudly letting AI literally clone their faces, their voice, their gestures and demeanors, and they are using them. It's like, how do you feel when somebody likes your clone better than you? I'm just saying, you still got to deal with it.
Hey, I programmed him. He got that game from me. It's like your kids. Sometimes somebody like your kids more than like you. We just talked about it. Yep.
Hey, look,
That's okay though.
It's scary now. I don't care what nobody say. This is like,
It is. But that's what Ezell was talking about on the other show. He's with the whole AI train.
Why'd you bring that up?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was such a triggering episode.
So we can't talk about it again. Remember, we just said we're not supposed to do it. We're not
That
supposed to bring it up again.
Now look, that was on a whole nother level with the artificial intelligence and trusting it to control us.
I don't even believe that he believes that.
That was different. It was a perspective, and I can respect it. I don't have to like it. Butterum, no.
Butterum.
No.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Put that on the board. Ezel, you hear me? Wherever you at, you hear me. Put it on the board. Like, no.
Butterum.
Butterum. Yeah, y'all, we have come to the end of the hour.
Everybody, I'm holding you accountable. I am holding you accountable. Next week is the end of the season 7 show, and it's viewer's choice. There are polls strategically placed on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Get to pushing a button and choose what our show is going to be next week so that we can air it for your likings and have a good time and end this season out.
Yes.
Exactly.
Butterum is good.
Yes. And you heard what she said.
Okay, you got homework to do. You got homework.
And you got 4 topics to choose from. The first one is, what's the best way to break up with someone? The second one, Overthinkers Anonymous, for people who plan out their arguments. Dude. Number 3 is, what do you do when your brain doesn't work?
Sorry.
Number 4 is, so what's next? What do you need to get to your next level? Go vote. Because whatever you vote on, that's what we're talking about next week.
Yep.
Okay.
So be there. We're going to see y'all next week. Peace and love.
Butterum.